Welcome, friends, to the Sleepy Archaeologist. Tonight, we travel to the misty hills of Wales, where the air rustles the trees and the rivers wind through the valleys like ancient whispers. The land is cradled in a gentle embrace of mist, with the ruins of forgotten castles dotting the landscape, standing quietly like silent sentinels from a long-lost time. These castles once stood proudly, but over the centuries, the wind and rain have worn them down, leaving behind only soft echoes of their past. Imagine, if you will, wandering through these ruins as the evening fog settles around you. The walls of these ancient castles, though crumbled and weathered, still seem to carry the stories of those who built them, lived within them, and fought to protect their lands. Part 1. The Castles of the Welsh Princes. The Welsh princes, proud and determined, built castles that weren't just fortifications. They were homes, places of governance, and symbols of resistance. These castles, nestled in the heart of the wild and beautiful Welsh landscape, were the guardians of a kingdom that stood against the ever-encroaching power of England. Perched on a gentle hill above Abermule and Powys, the ruins of Dolforwyn softly whisper stories of the past. Built by Llewellyn ap Griffith, born 1223, died 1282, the last sovereign Prince of Wales in the late 13th century. This castle was once a proud symbol of Welsh resistance. It stood as a sentinel over the Severn Valley, its stone walls echoing the hopes of a nation determined to hold onto its heritage. The castle, with its unique design, was different from the English strongholds of the time. Archaeological excavations in the 1980s and 90s uncovered traces of this ancient fortification, revealing a keep, a round tower, and even a cleverly designed water cistern. These findings painted a picture of a strategic, well-planned stronghold. Among the artifacts discovered were a silver coin, some leather fragments, and even stone balls from a catapult, all offering a glimpse into the castle's turbulent history. It was here that, in 1277, the castle fell to the English after a siege, marking the end of a short but fierce chapter in Welsh independence. Today, the ruins of Dolforwyn stand quietly, gently reclaimed by nature, but still carrying the weight of centuries. It's a peaceful place now, where the past lingers softly in the air, waiting for us to listen. In the winter of 1282, Llewellyn ap Griffith, the last sovereign Prince of Wales, met his untimely end. On a quiet evening near Silmeri, in the hills of Powys, Llewellyn was ambushed by English forces. The ambush was swift, and despite his brave resistance, he fell in battle. His death marked the end of Welsh independence and the beginning of England's dominance over Wales. Though his body was never found, his spirit lives on soft and persistent in the hearts of the Welsh people. Now we travel on. As we walk through the ruins of Dinas Emrys, a site near Bedglert, let's imagine the whisper of ancient legends. Dinas Emrys, meaning Fortress of Emrys, was originally a hill fort used during the Iron Age and later repurposed during the medieval period. Here, according to legend, the wizard Merlin prophesied the rise of the Red Dragon, a symbol of Welsh strength and pride. Excavations conducted by the Royal Commission on Ancient and Historical Monuments of Wales in 1993 uncovered a vast hill fort that had been reused during the medieval period. Iron tools and pottery fragments were found here, offering glimpses into the lives of those who sought refuge within its walls. With every step, you can almost hear the hum of history in the air, swirling like the wind through the valley, carrying tales of courage and resilience. These sites, built by the Welsh rulers, have long since faded, but their memory lingers in the land, waiting for those with quiet hearts to listen. Part 2. English Strongholds on Welsh Soil and the Marcher Lords. As the 13th century unfolded, the English crown, led by King Edward I, began to reshape the landscape of Wales. In his quest to control the land, he ordered the construction of grand castles, each one designed to assert English dominance and to subdue the proud Welsh people. But, as we know, even the most imposing walls cannot silence the spirit of a people. One such castle was Carnarvon Castle, completed in 1330. This massive stone fortress was built by Edward I and remains one of the most iconic castles in Wales. Situated near the coast of Gwynedd, it towers over the surrounding landscape like a silent guardian. Its thick walls and tall towers were meant to impress, to symbolize the power of the English king. Yet, even as it stood tall, it became a backdrop to the dreams of the Welsh people. Archaeological excavations carried out by Caddy in 1996 revealed numerous medieval artifacts, swords, arrows, and tools, hinting at the lives that were lived within these imposing walls. Pottery and metalwork uncovered from the site speak to both the military and the domestic life that unfolded in this once bustling stronghold. However, not all castles built by Edward I were as grand as Carnarvon. Take Tomenai Rodwyd, located near the village of Bodfari in North Wales. Built in the late 13th century, it was a small Motte and Bailey fortification constructed by the English as part of their control over the surrounding lands. Today, Tomen is in much worse condition compared to its more famous counterparts. The site consists of only a small mound surrounded by trees and grass, with little more than faint traces of its walls remaining. Excavations in the 1960s, led by the Clwyd Powys Archaeological Trust, uncovered fragments of pottery and building materials, revealing that this once proud castle had a crucial role in the English military strategy to assert control over the local Welsh population. Tomen may not have stood the test of time, but it served as a reminder of the English efforts to control the land. Though nature has gently reclaimed it, still, the memories of its brief existence echo through the hills, barely visible but not forgotten. Part 3. Life on the Land, the Welsh People, Rebellions, and Identity. Beneath the shadow of these towering fortresses, life for the Welsh people was often difficult. They worked the land, labored in the fields, and served the English lords who controlled the castles. Yet, even in the face of oppression, the Welsh people found ways to resist. One of the most inspiring figures in Welsh history was Owen Glyndwr, a nobleman who led the last major rebellion for Welsh independence. Glyndwr declared himself Prince of Wales in 1400, and for a brief, glorious moment, he managed to reclaim much of the land from the English. Archaeological evidence from Glyndwr's rebellion includes the remains of weapons, swords, arrowheads, and even bits of armor found at various sites where battles took place. For example, excavations at the site of the Battle of Pillith, 1402, near Knighton, conducted by the Clwyd Powys Archaeological Trust in the early 2000s, uncovered fragments of swords, arrowheads, and pieces of armor. These items were found buried beneath the battle site, offering a poignant glimpse into the violence and desperation of the rebellion. The discoveries, including several medieval arrows and a number of iron sword fragments, speak to the fierce nature of Glyndwr's forces and the violent clashes that marked the course of his rebellion for Welsh independence. The site itself was one of the most important engagements in Glyndwr's struggle, and the artifacts discovered there offer direct evidence of the intense battles fought during his campaign. These objects, uncovered from the earth, offer a glimpse into the fierce resistance of a people determined to defend their land. Glinder's rebellion, though ultimately unsuccessful, became a symbol of Welsh pride and independence, and his name lives on as one of the most important figures in Welsh history. But Glinder's story is only one part of a larger tapestry of Welsh resistance. There were countless other skirmishes, rebellions, and uprisings over the centuries. Archaeological finds across Wales, from burned settlements to fragments of weapons, tell of a people who refused to give up their identity. The land itself holds these stories, tucked into the soil, waiting for us to listen. The Welsh people's resistance was also embodied in their language. The Welsh language became the heart of this resistance. Despite centuries of English rule, the Welsh people held tightly to their language, passing it down through generations. The survival of Welsh is a testament to the resilience of the Welsh spirit. Archaeological discoveries of medieval manuscripts, including early poetry and religious texts, reveal the persistence of the Welsh language in cultural and spiritual life. These documents were often hidden away, sometimes by monks or scholars who kept the language alive in defiance of English dominance. One significant example of this can be found at the National Library of Wales, where an illuminated manuscript, the Black Book of Carmarthen, circa 1250, houses some of the earliest Welsh poetry that survives today. This manuscript, which was painstakingly preserved, speaks to the importance of Welsh language and culture in maintaining the national identity. Through these texts and their survival, we can trace the deep roots of the Welsh resistance and their unwavering commitment to their heritage. Even today, Welsh continues to thrive, its words weaving through the streets of Wales like an ancient song, echoing with the voices of those who fought to keep their heritage alive. It stands, like the castles of Wales, as a proud reminder of a people who never gave up. As we conclude our journey through the forgotten castles of Wales, we return to the quiet hills and rolling landscapes, where the wind whispers stories of the past. The castles may no longer stand as they once did, but their spirit endures. The echoes of bravery, defiance, and the unwavering pride of the Welsh people can still be felt in the air. The archaeological finds we've uncovered, battlefields, pottery, manuscripts, remind us that history is not just about dates and names. It is the story of the people who lived and fought, who loved and dreamed, and who, like the land itself, continue to leave their mark on the world. As you close your eyes and drift into sleep, know that the past is never truly gone. It lives on in the ruins of castles, in the language of the land, and in the hearts of those who carry its stories. And perhaps, if you listen closely, you may still hear the soft hum of history as it gently whispers its secrets to you. Good night, fellow travelers, from the sleepy archaeologist.